I really don't like wine. People who earn a living from wine, making it, distributing it, talking about it, writing about it, telling people not to do dry January. This, to me, is exactly like cattle farmers and butchers saying, don't do Lent.
So, Robert, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, listen, it's 2026, and
Is it?
yes,
Really?
I wanted to talk to you about your Substack series, right?
Yeah,
The pieces, the recent one.
yeah,
You've called it What to Look Forward to and Fear in 2026.
yeah.
So far, I see three parts. Are
Three
there
parts
more
is at the moment.
coming?
3 parts is enough. I think they were long reads, and everyone tells me not to do long reads, but they turned out to be long reads. Everybody does predictions, and there are
Right.
lots of predictions around, and a lot of them are very good. I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to be based on some kind of fact that I had picked up on. And one of the most interesting, in a way, in terms of why people are not drinking, there's all sorts of lifestyle changes. But the thing that we don't think about is that there are a lot more alternatives today. Today, you don't have to do what your parents did. You don't have to do what society said. So, I'm old enough to remember when, if you went to a dinner party, it was couples all round. And if you didn't have a partner, your host would find you a partner of the opposite sex because that made the table right. Point one. And then everybody ate the meat and everybody drank the red wine. Now, today, you think about it. Firstly, at that table, you've probably got two men together or two women together as a couple. Why not? Nobody cares anymore. When it comes to the food, actually, I don't eat meat. Oh, I don't eat fish. I don't. Okay, so we'll do something special for them. Actually, I don't do wine, or I don't do wine during the week. All of that is now acceptable. We're allowed to live the way we want to live, number one. But secondly, there are all these alternatives. So I've just come back from Georgia where we are working on a really exciting project. We're making sparkling tea. So I'm doing a zero alcohol wine in France,
Hmm.
and I'm doing sparkling tea in Georgia, and I'm committed to both. But my point is, I think we're going to see people saying, what am I going to drink? Now, my friend I mentioned earlier, who goes off alcohol every now and then for a week or two or three, he's on de-alkalized beer when he's not drinking. He's fine. I think there are so many reasons that we're not talking about for zero alcohol. And I think we've obsessed, or the wine industry has obsessed with the World Health Organization and cancer. Firstly, especially now because it's January and dry January, I really don't like wine. People who earn a living from wine, making it, distributing it, talking about it, writing about it, telling people not to do dry January. This, to me, is exactly like cattle farmers and butchers saying, don't do Lent. If people
Mm.
choose
Interesting.
not to eat meat or not to use their computer, their smartphones, or not, there are all sorts of reasons for people not to do something that they think may have become a bit habitual. I know too many people in the wine industry, I know people in the hospitality industry who do dry January. So you lose weight if you do dry January. There's no question. You may sleep better. And my point about it is essentially forget the cancer thing for a minute. I think crucially, cancer is something that I know personally is something that can well hit you when you are 5, 6, 7 decades old. Most 20, 30-year-olds are not really thinking or worrying about cancer on a daily basis. What they're worried about, or what they think about, is healthiness, well-being.
Yeah, wellness.
And that's, to me, wellness, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. But it's actually, the thing about it is it's people who are saying, right, I'm going to cut down on alcohol, or people who are zebra drinking. So in other words, the beginning of the evening, they'll have a zero alcohol. And I think this is going to be more and more significant.
So I want to just go back before we close just 1 nanosecond to your point to mid-strength and off-dry wines
Yeah.
as your kind of your next battleground, right? So why do you think these styles may succeed where kind of the no load, zero alcohol sometimes struggles?
Oh, I think it's very simple. NOLO wine, NOLO alcohol, NOLO beer is not struggling. Firstly, beer is much easier to dealcoholize than wine. You're starting off with a less complex product with much less alcohol. Wine is very complex, and we've got 13-14%. Start from there. The second thing is the brewers have been working on making zero alcohol beer for a very long time. And have invested millions into it. The wine industry has not. So everything we're doing with wine is very new. When I was not allowed to drink alcohol, I was prepared to compromise. So I wasn't saying, oh, yippee, I'm going to drink some of that zero alcohol stuff. I'm going to drink something that isn't Coca-Cola and isn't water. But two things are happening. One is the technology is improving incredibly quickly. Okay. And not just the technology. So it's interesting. Kylie Minogue's Rosé, Zero Rosé, is an absolute bestseller in the UK. But Elton John is just launching a zero.
Yeah, I saw that. He's all over the social.
And it's very coherent because Elton John hasn't drunk wine or alcohol for 30 years. And the interesting thing is the product that he's launching, which I haven't had the chance to taste yet, is not dealcoholized. Well, it's fermented with yeasts that aren't creating the alcohol. What we're trying to do is give people a wine adjacent, a wine-like experience. We're not saying this is as good as a great Burgundy. We're not going to say it's going to give you the same experience as if you're drinking a Brunello. What we're saying is going to give you a good experience at a time where, for whatever reason, you have chosen not to drink alcohol. If you can and want to drink alcohol, you will drink alcohol. But there are going to be times where you're going to say, actually, I'm driving and it's a zero. Where I am, there's a zero alcohol rule for drivers. I've got a health reason. Whatever the thing is, you're saying, I don't want to drink alcohol and I want to drink something nice.
All right, that sounds good, Robert. Of course, we can talk about hours and hours, but congratulations on your Substack. Okay?
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you, Robert.